So number one is, again, the easiest type of mole equation problem that we can run into. We're just asked to calculate moles, we're given mass, and we're told what the material is. Remember though, I told you yesterday, okay, on a unit exam or a quiz, I'm not going to give you the formula, I'm going to give you the name. Okay, so there'll be that added step of making sure that you can write the proper chemical formula, okay, as part of the problem. So our givens for this one, we're looking for how many moles, so we're looking for N. Okay, we have the material being carbon dioxide, so that'll be 12.01 plus 16 times 2, so that'll be 44.01 grams per mole. Okay, so we got our molar mass there, and then we also know the mass. They told us that is 150 grams. Okay, so we'd have 1 mark there. Okay, then we don't have to manipulate the formula for this one. We're already looking for N, so we just have to plug in our numbers. Little m was 150 grams, divided by big M, which was 44.01 grams per mole. Okay, so we're looking at 3.41 moles. Okay, so probably a 3-mark question. Okay, 1 mark for givens, 1 mark for your work, 1 mark for your answer. Okay, questions on how that one worked? Everybody's okay with that one? All right. Give number 2 a try here. I'll give you a few minutes to get ahead of me again. So on number 2, okay, we've got, we're looking for the mass, which is which part of the mole equation? Which m? Little m, right. Okay, so we're looking for little m, okay, and we know N is 26.5 moles, and we know that the material is cobalt 2 bromide. Okay, so that'll be, cobalt is 58.93, and there's only one of that, plus 79.9 times 2. All right, so we should be looking at 218.73 grams per mole. All right, now that we have those things, okay, we can set up, so that'd be our first mark, we'll set up our mole equation calculation, N equals little m over big M, but I'm looking for little m, so I have to move big M over to the other side by multiplying both sides by it. Okay, so there's my manipulated equation, so I would get a mark for the manipulation, okay, and then I would say that that equals 218.73 times 26.5. Okay, I'd get a mark for that. So 5,796.35. And our units for that would be grams, and we need to make sure that we have units on there and that the units are right. Okay, so that would be a 4-mark question. That ringing a bell from yesterday? We have to put our units like... No, you don't have to put them in here. You should put them in your givens. Okay, but no, in your calculation. I do it sometimes and sometimes I don't. Like this one I didn't, but the first one I did. Right, so it doesn't matter if you have the units in here in the showing your work part, but you should have them up here in the givens for sure. All right. Other questions on that one? All right, try number 3. Okay, remember that in number 3, you're also going to need Avogadro's number. Okay, because you're looking for the number of molecules. Quick refresher. What is Avogadro's number? Yeah, okay, no, not 6.02. I'm smart, Alex. What does it represent? Right, number of molecules in 1 mole. Okay, or particles in 1 mole. All right. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. All right, it's only got 1 extra step, and that's the using Avogadro's number. Otherwise, it's still just a mole equation calculation. So we're looking for the number of molecules. Okay, that's our final, what we're looking for is our final answer. We're told it's sodium sulfide, so we can calculate the molar mass. Okay, we got 22.99 times 2, the 2 sulfurs, plus 32.0. 32.07, right? Okay, for our sulfur, okay, there's only one of that. So we're going to go 22.99 times 2 plus 32.07. And we got 78.05 grams per mole. Right. The other thing we're told is that we have 29 grams. All right. So I have little m and I have big M. What can I find right now? N. Right. I can find the number of moles. So I'm going to do that first. Okay, so N is going to equal little m over big M, 29 grams over 78.05 grams per mole. So obviously I have less than a mole here. Okay, so 29 divided by our answer. Okay, it's 0.3715 moles. All right, an important thing here, guys, to get in the habit of is that even though I've rounded off the answer here on the smartboard, okay, I'm keeping all the decimals in my calculator for further calculations, and we should always keep all the decimals in our calculator, okay, because it can affect the accuracy of your answer, especially if you're multiplying by a big number, like Avogadro's number big, okay? All those little decimals then make a difference in your final answer, so make sure you don't round them off early. Keep them all until the end. When you have your final answer, that's when you should round off. Everybody follow? Okay, so now that I know the number of moles, okay, now I can find the number of molecules because I know that Avogadro's number, okay, that's this one here, okay, is the number of molecules in 1 mole. So what do I have to do with these two numbers? Multiply them. Okay, if I multiply these two numbers, that's like saying, all right, I have half a dozen. All right, so I multiply 0.5 by 12 and I get 6. Well, I'm going to multiply 0.3715 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23, and I'll have my number of molecules. So number of molecules, that's supposed to be a U. Okay, molecules, okay, equals N times Av's number, okay, which will be 0.3715 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23. And remember, we have to enter that into our calculators correctly. So we're going to take that number there, okay? So now I'm taking all the decimals, not just the rounded version, and I'm multiplying that by, in brackets, 6.02, whoops, wrong button, okay? So E23, end the brackets, and I've got 2.24 times 10 to the 23 molecules. Okay, so we would have 1 mark for that step, 1 mark for this step, 1 mark for this step, and 1 mark for our answer. Okay, 4 marks for that one. Okay, now the only other way I can ask this is I give you the number of molecules and ask you to find the mass. So the opposite of this question. This question gave you the mass, asked you to find the number of molecules. Now I'm going to give you the number of molecules. If you are given the number of molecules, you can right away find the number of moles. Okay, and that's what you need to do. Anytime you're given a number of molecules, the first thing you want to do is find the number of moles, because then you have one more piece of the mole equation that you can use. All right, so on that note then, try number 4, because that's the only other kind of question we've got. So like we said with this one, okay, our first step is that we probably want to get the number of moles because we were given the number of molecules. And that's something we can directly find with that number. So we got 7.2 times 10 to the 23 molecules of diphosphorus pentaoxide. All right, so let's find N first. So N is going to be then the number of molecules over Avogadro's number. Okay, so that'll be 7.2 times 10 to the 23 over 6.02 times 10 to the 23. Okay, so I'm just going to do this, guys. Just a quick shortcut on this. Come on, turn on. 7.2 divided by 6.02. Because they have the same exponent, I can just do that Is everyone okay with that? Those exponents, the 10 to the 23 would cancel. Okay. So I got 1.196 moles. Okay, then I should also, you get a mark for that step. Then I also need to calculate my molar mass. All right, so for phosphorus, we got 30.97. And there are two of those, okay, plus 16 times 5. Okay, so we got 141.94 grams per mole. Okay, so now, that would be our other kind of given there. Okay, we're looking for mass. I have N because I found it using Avogadro's number and the number of molecules, and I have molar mass, which I calculated from my periodic table. So N equals little m over big M, but I'm solving for little m, so I'm going to multiply both sides by big M, so I would get a mark for that manipulation. All right, then I'm going to have 141.94, and I'm going to multiply that by my 1.196 moles, and that will give me my answer, so I'd get a mark for plugging in my numbers. All right, so I kept all my decimals, I re-entered them all, okay, so I can be as accurate as possible, and I'm getting a mass of 169.76 grams. Okay, for my fifth and final mark. All right, so there's no really complex math in the mole equation, right? It's all pretty straightforward. You're just multiplying or dividing. But it's definitely something that we need to be able to do. So tomorrow, okay, you'll be spending the class. I'll have 4 questions again at the start of class that I'll go over quickly, okay, and then you guys are going to practice some on your own. Okay? And then on Monday, I'll do the unit exam review. Okay, I will be posting the review package today or tomorrow, okay, so that you have that for the weekend. But then I'll do the exam review myself on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mole equation, Thursday, write your tests. Okay, so I got the labs in, guys. Been looking at those here.